Hi, friends. Today we'll be talking about a story that is foundational to the DNA of every intercessor, as well as any house of prayer. It's the story of the prophetess Anna. We read in Luke chapter 2, starting in verse 36. I'm reading from the New King James Version. Now there was one, Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel, of the tribe of Asher. She was of a great age and had lived with a husband 7 years from her virginity. And this woman was a widow of about 84 years. So this is talked about someone that is not a newbie to serving God. This is someone that has been faithful over the course of her entire lifetime. And anytime you see that, we should definitely pay attention. Continuing in verse 37, who did not depart from the temple, but served God with fastings and prayers night and day. So let's notice a few things from this. First, she was someone that anytime the temple doors were open, she was there. Any opportunity she had to be in the presence of God, she was going to take it. And on top of that, she served God in the midst of it. Now, when we think of serving as a word, it generally is doing something that helps out a person. It's doing something that either they can't do for themselves or they're unwilling to do or unable to. Think about it with God, though. It's really interesting that it says that she was serving God. Other translations, such as NIV, say it's worshiping God. But I like the translation serving God because it positions her and us to view ourselves as ministers to the Lord. That's someone that actually contributes a meaningful service to the Lord. Now, obviously, we know that God doesn't need us to sustain himself. He's immutable. He is omnipotent. He is transcendent. He doesn't have any need of any mortal person or any mundane thing. He doesn't need our service and our worship. And yet, the phrasing in the scriptures is still that she served God with fastings and prayers night and day. This is such a critical point that I think we need to understand. And that is our role as ministers to the Lord. And I know that as I'm looking into this camera right now, it's not just me delivering a message, but it is prophetic in and of itself, because I know that there are people that are going to watch this, that the Spirit is going to give an unction inside their hearts and give a deep down conviction that says, yeah, I believe I'm not just called to go to church. I'm not just called to the normal run-of-the-mill Christianity. I'm called deeper in God. I'm called to serve him and to minister to his heart and touch his heart through fastings and in prayer. And I believe that is the central theme of Anna's life, that her closest and dearest relationship was with her Creator. She was someone that didn't have a spouse to lean back upon in the vast majority of her life. So instead of getting in self-pity and loneliness, she leans forward in service to God, and she enjoyed such a deep intimacy with him. She was there in the temple whether or not she had to be there. It says night and day. Some commentaries said even in the night watches, she chose to be there in the temple. What does it say in verse 38? And coming in that instant, she gave thanks to the Lord and spoke of him to all those who looked for redemption in Jerusalem. It's so beautiful. The fact that she was constantly serving God means she didn't miss it when he showed up, even though the rest of her entire nation missed him. Think about that. She was so in tune with the heart of God from her ministering, from her serving, from her love and intimacy with him, that she was one of the very first people in her nation to recognize the Messiah. Jesus came to her from his parents in the form of a baby, and she got it. Friends, I believe that many of you watching this have been given an assignment by God to minister constantly to him in the place of prayer, in the place of worship, and to be with him in his temple whenever it's available. And from that, you're not going to miss him. You're going to see him. And from that, you're going to be able to offer hope, clarity, and prophetic direction to anyone who is putting their hope in the coming of the Messiah, because we know that Jesus is coming again soon. Stay faithful, my friends.